get an email, a couple of emails this morning saying, "Are you recorded?" I'm like, "Is the session being recorded?" So kind of you'll just get the kind of a little privacy notice at the top, just letting you all know that the session is being recorded. Please do feel free, if you don't want to be on video for our archive, then you can turn your video off. That's fine. So we've just got another learner join us today. Okay. What we'll probably get is we'll probably get some people joining us as kind of we start, but we'll get started. Okay, so basically, a big welcome to Jonathan from Bellyflop this morning. We're just getting some more people coming in now. Yeah, so like a big welcome kind of to Jonathan from from Bellyflop this morning. He's worked in video. Well, he'll tell you himself or do his own introduction, but he's worked in video and kind of TV for years. So he's just coming to share his experience of basically mainly online video, but just to basically introduce himself and a bit about his background as well. What we'll do at kind of the end of the session, we'll do a bit of a Q&A session. So do be thinking about kind of questions. Feel free to type them in kind of the chat on Teams, and I'll basically kind of relay them questions over to Jonathan, and we'll make it quite conversational then. So basically without further ado, over to Jonathan, and I'll let you start and introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. I've never done anything, I've not done one of these classes or anything like this before, so a bit nervous. Funnily enough, when I've got a camera in my hand, I feel invincible, but it's a different story when I've not. So yeah, I'm Jonathan, I live in Burnley with my other half, and we've got a little boy, and then I do TV work, and I also have a video, like a corporate video company that my other half looks after, and then he just arranges everything and I'll do the filming as and when. So I'm currently just doing Homes Under the Hammer for my sins, a show that I never said I'd work on, and here I am doing it. I didn't think it'd be still on TV after 18 years. And also I've done a show called The Auction House, which is on Really 9 o'clock every Monday, and then it's on catch up and stuff. And what often happens when you do telly stuff, you'll do one animal show and then you'll get another animal show and another animal show. So at the moment, it seems to be antiques and auctions and properties that I seem to be going down the route of. So I first started doing video production. Well, I first started getting interested in telly, I should say, when I was quite young, and I used to sit and watch telly programs playing with my Lego, and I used to build the TV sets out of my Lego. So I remember making Pauline Fowler's kitchen by looking at how they did the camera angles and stuff. And then as I got a bit older, got a bit more mischievous, I got into graffiti, and not particularly stylish spray can art. It was just tagging, but the fact you could tag your name on a bus and it would drive all around Tameside where I lived, I thought was quite cool. And kind of reflecting on that, it probably was me first broadcasting or getting a message out, I suppose. I had a good school teacher who saw the potential in me being creative, although destructively creative. And the school got a video camera because they knew I was interested. And then that was at 14 years old, and then since then, that's what I've done. I've just been filming forevermore, and now I'm 46, and I've done it for 32 years. I did a college BTEC at Oldham College, which was quite technical, and then I went and did a degree at an art college, a BA Honours degree. And during that time, I was working at McDonald's doing kids' parties. And I wanted to do kids' TV, not on camera, behind camera. And probably my first job ended up being at Nickelodeon, a kids' TV channel. And that was because a lot of the work involved communicating with kids. And I was used to, getting down to their level, so to speak, and talking to them. So that's my background in a nutshell. I've got a show reel of clips, which I'll show you, which I'll aim to play now. So I'm sure someone will give me the heads up if it doesn't show. So, is that right?
In America's Wild West. Away from paved roads, mobile reception and paparazzi.
So this is Celebs on the Ranch and Celebs on the Farm I did for Channel 5.
In North Yorkshire, self-taught chocolatier Ashley McCarthy is known for his fun chocolate sculptures. Ashley's first job is to build the chocolate shop's walls, using rubber mats to form.
So I literally spent months in Ashley's kitchen filming him doing chocolate stuff. I got sick of the taste of chocolate.
Yeah, he is, yeah. New experience.
And Claire's 3-month-old ferret Jansen is in the mood to investigate.
Just come for a register him at vets to make sure he's all right. We need to know about flea treatment.
He looks a bit of a live wire.
He's a little whirlwind.
He looks it. He's not a Formula One driver, is he?
That's who he's named after.
God,
He's named after Jensen, but yeah, he takes after it, no problem.
he's lovely.
Not like everyone I grew up with, I'm not going to lie. Look at your baubles in your bed.
Tangible.
To say there's somebody that looks like me that might be offended by this.
Correct. Correct. Do you know what that word is?
January, but something else happened.
Close.
Veganary.
January.
Veganary. Veganary.
February. We've got February.
There we go.
Well,
So I'll close that off and come back. And how to come back now? Am I back?
yeah, so you just press the cross, Jonathan,
Oh,
in
right.
the screen, and you'll be back.
I'm back in the room.
Sorry.
Still getting used to this. So that last clip, the chocolate school, the chocolate being smashed up in a school. There's so much stage management. You're filming it yourself. You've got a load of kids. They're going to smash up a chocolate sculpture, and there's only one take, and there is literally there's no chance of doing anything again. So it's quite daunting, and it's quite a big part of the show as well. That was like the big story that they had in the show. So yeah, there's a lot of like controlling the situation while not just shouting all the time at people and whatnot. But that's like my telly work. But I suppose the reason why I was asked by Danny to do this today was because it's about the online video stuff that I do. So basically in 2006, YouTube started in the UK. I'd already been filming stuff in the gay village in Manchester. Daft, stupid films. I'd take a tub of Play-Doh out and I'd just hand it. I'd literally go to someone, I'd hold the Play-Doh in front of my hand, I'd hold the camera, and I'd just get people to make something out of Play-Doh. I wouldn't even talk to them often. And they'd all make willies, as you'd expect, and it became quite daft, funny films. Took very little effort to film. Literally, you'd film it in 15 minutes. And because it was quite simple, it took very little effort to edit. And you can, on YouTube, because you see the analytics, it was these films that people would share and watch, and they were like easy to make. So quite early on, I learned what people want, and I kind of came up with the phrase "rough, ready, relevance," which is basically, I think with online video, a lot of people don't expect it to be polished, or they don't expect it to be really, really stylized, as long as it's relevant. And usually relevance comes down to the date and the time, such as Jackie Weaver as an example, people making films about the whole Jackie Weaver parish council thing that went on a couple of weeks ago. Because it's relevant, people want to see it and they share it. And it's ready quick, and it's rough around the edges. And that's absolutely fine for people. I've got an example of this, and it was when Woolworths closed down. And I decided to go and take my camera and film the Woolworths store in my local town, which was Stockport. So I did this film literally in, I'm going to make sure, bear with me as I try and make sure you can see it. Go to there. I filmed this literally in 3 minutes. Are we, is it there? Okay.
Right.
I filmed it on a Cybershock camera, which is just a basic video camera. And just went around and filmed all the shelves and it all looking a bit shit, basically. And he edited it literally. There was very little to edit. And I actually was editing this lying down on the sofa. I wasn't even sat at a desk. I just remember how basic and how little effort I put into it. But because the video asks questions and it's emotive and it was relevant to what's happening with all these Woolworths stores closing, I think even now, if you go to YouTube and just type in Woolworths, this one comes up at the top. And I still get comments like every few days in my inbox. It pops up when people leave a comment, and I still get loads of comments. And again, it was just rough, relevant, and it was ready quickly. So that's another one that I did. And there's nothing particularly, ambitious about it. It was just, I just filmed what I could see and then just edited it together and put it online. And because it asks a question, people in the comments would react as well. And at that point, I think online video was a turning point. There's quite a lot of people who worked at Woolworths that were posting like goodbye videos. So I mean, it's finished. So yeah, so I was just getting, I think I'm back, my head around what was working online, and also applying like TV making processes to make an online video. The audience online are totally different to TV because they've got really, really short attention spans, and they need to be hooked pretty early on. So my YouTube channel, funnily enough, I don't know if you're familiar with LGBT culture. My YouTube channel was filming a lot of gay bears, which is basically big hairy men who don't necessarily conform to standard LGBT, gay blokes. They were just blokes who liked blokes. So a lot of my videos were done in a childlike setting or situations. I mean, there was still a little bit of suggestiveness, but YouTube was quite strict. And at the time, Richard and Judy had just started their own TV show on a channel called Watch, and it was big news at the time that nobody was watching Richard and Judy. There was only like 25,000 viewers a day were watching Richard and Judy doing this new show. My YouTube channel was getting 40,000 views a day, and that's what the stats showed. So there was more people watching fat gay blokes than Richard and Judy, and I was just thinking, this is just unbelievable. And it wasn't just men watching the men. There was about 15% of the audience was women as well. And it was just like, and it was an early stage of YouTube, but it was just like, it was phenomenal. And I just got that fire in my belly to make more of that kind of content. And we did all sorts, from Britain's Next Bear Model, obviously filming Pride. I'd end up getting paid my travel and my hotel to go and film bear events in Europe. So I'd be filming bears at a pool party, in nightclubs, playing Twister in a park. It was just absolutely crazy. And I was only making, I wasn't making a great deal of revenue. It was about £400 a month in ad revenue at the time. And then as I was doing more of that, it was getting harder to do my TV work. And I was kind of getting quite fulfillment from doing this, because you saw the audience reacting to stuff and commenting on it. And I remember that I'd done Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, and I'd done the undercovers where Ant and Dec dressed as nurses in a hospital and surprised the pop band Blue and like Kerry Katona, and then we did ones on Coronation Street, and it was in my local pub in Stockport. And Ant and Dec and what I'd done was on the TV, and I wanted to like shout out to the pub, I made this, but they probably all think it was absolutely bonkers, so I didn't. But then a couple of hours later, we went into the gay village, and a Lady Gaga video that I'd made was, or music video, a sing-along was playing in a club, and people were talking about it and pointing at it and saying, oh, that's such a person. And I was thinking, God, this simple video stuff I was doing was getting more of a reaction than the stuff that was mainstream. So, and the sing-alongs became a big part of the stuff I was doing as far as on my YouTube channels. And one of them, if you forgive the French, is a Lily Allen song called Fuck You. And what I did was I did it at Manchester Pride. And we, I think is it there?
It is.
Okay. So, yeah, I won't play the whole thing, but basically Very simple concept, you'll get it. Filmed it on the Saturday of Pride. Took the lyrics, took a little CD player. We edited it the same day, put it online that evening, and the following morning it was bonkers because people were sending it to me on Facebook, not knowing I'd made it. And because it features loads of different people, they all want to share it as well. So I'll skip forward and because it ends in a crescendo with the crowd singing. And this was done to support a charity called the LGF, Lesbian Gay Foundation at the time. I think she was off her face. There we go. Fuck you. Back. There we go. I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yes, you are.
Good. So yeah, and I don't mean to name drop, but at the time I was working with Stephen Mulhern doing Animals Do the Funniest Things, and we're filming literally the next day in a theme park in Spain. And then I was constantly on my phone because every time I looked at the YouTube video, the views had gone up and up and up. And I don't deny it felt great. But I was like, I can't believe it. And then it was like 50,000, 60,000, 80,000. And I showed it to Stephen and he goes, oh, you need to speak to my mate who works at Butlins because Stephen used to be a Redcoat. So then I ended up getting loads of work with Butlins, doing sing-along videos with Redcoats. And then he went on to sing-alongs at Cheshire Oaks Shopping Centre. Mercure Hotels were having events where you do sing-alongs with the guests. Brownies, I did a sing-along with the Brownies. Football clubs, it just went on and on. So over time, we did a catering company, local authorities, sports trusts. And before I know it, I just did loads and loads of these sing-along videos. And they're done exactly like how we do a TV show, but because they featured loads of people and they were usually done quite quickly, as in you film it, because you film someone, they want to watch it on telly as soon as possible. So you're doing this, and then of course people want to share it and show their friends, and so that resulted in basically, you know, the videos getting quite a lot of shares. And so that was where I was at with my video company. Now I called my video company Bellyflop, and at the time, because I was doing all these gay bear videos, as a bit of a nod and a wink to bear culture, I called the company Bellyflop because it was just a little cheeky reference to bears with bellies and stuff. I know it's bonkers, but and it also meant that the bears knew that, who was sharing all my videos. So when I was doing my boring, so to speak, corporate videos for Stockport Council, waste recycling, the bears would all watch it and share it and comment on it because in genuine, what a great video. Because they knew it was helping me carry on doing my own YouTube stuff. So it was all a bit crazy, although of course, if I did film a chunky guy in a corporate film, they'd all start saying, oh, he's gorgeous and stuff. So it went both ways. You'd end up with like some confused customers, but that's where I got to. And I was still doing my telly stuff. And then I was working on a show with Uri Geller, who you may know or may not know, who bends spoons, for want of a better, example of what he does, but that's what he was known for. And at the time, he's quite an unusual character. He says, Jonathan, it's all about niches. You find a niche, and that's what you need to do. And kind of that's what I did. And so rather than looking for niches, I just accepted that you do a video, and then someone asks for another video like that. And I would just embrace that. And the best example of that is, strangely enough, opticians. We did an opticians film. Another optician saw it. They mentioned it to someone else. and then Seiko, who make watches, well, not Fitbits, but watches, also do lenses for frames. So they came up with a point system for opticians to use for things like video or posters in the store and stuff. So we've probably made about 600 optician films by now. And they're not just, they're all independent opticians, but then there's offshoots of eye charities, other lens companies, eye care products, dry eye drops, companies that buy and sell opticians. And it's not rocket science. What do you do? You do a film for someone, an optician film. What did they do? They put it on their LinkedIn and they show them the mates that they went to university with who are also opticians, and they go, "Oh, look at this! I've done this. We've had this film made," and then they'll go, "Who made that?" And that's so not next week in May. I'm going down London. I'm doing 5 optician films, 3 for the same chain but different locations. One is a customer, we've already done one before, we're doing a new film for them, and then one is a new one that we're doing. So we just embraced the fact that we were doing all these optician films, and rather than go, "Oh, I'm getting a bit bored of them," it's like, well, it's a business. We've got a little show reel which basically explains, so it should be here. So, you're looking at yourself there, are you? Is that okay?
Sandy here.
Perfect.
Independent opticians like yourself since.
Is that all right? Is that working?
Yeah, that's great.
Videos, photography, and Google Street View virtual tours of your practices. In that time, we've gathered an understanding of your business, the way that you work, and how you want to communicate what you do to new and existing patients. We'd like to offer to independent opticians a service where we give support on how you communicate on social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms are often the first way of communicating many people now use. We can help you understand it and make it work for your independent practice. Before you commit to a costly social media contract, let us give you some guidance at no cost. Just email studio@bellyflop.tv or call us on 01282 222 620.
Oh God, I can't stand seeing myself on video. But if you're trying to get other people to do it, then you have to do it yourself, I suppose. And that video probably explained, we don't just do the videos. We then diversified. We do social media content, Google 360 tours, photography. And because I was going down to an optician's, it made sense. If I'm taking loads of photographs and things, then if we did their social media, we've got loads of video clips and photographs and stuff, so we could just do that as well. So that's something that we now do. And I've got a very quick example is, so Specs Network, a lot of video is on there. Is that playing okay? Well,
Yeah, sure. I can see that. Yeah.
So there's loads of imagery plays a massive part in the posts that we're putting out. They're all usually video. Not the same one. And this is quite an unusual Twitter account to do, because basically independent opticians are quite the whole point of why they work for themselves is they're quite particular. So Specs Network it's all about eye health. It's totally non-commercial. It's purely creating content that the independent opticians can then share and like and retweet and stuff, because they're not particularly good at coming up with the content themselves. So we're just constantly making quirky little films and videos and posts, and it's difficult because I know the stuff that I know will work online is like, I've posted a photograph of just my feet wearing some socks with eyeballs on, and that'll get far more likes and comments and stuff than a film about conjunctivitis. It's no surprise because it's just more fun, it's more visual. So I've just got to find a balance of what I know will get hits and likes and stuff, but then also what people will, the other opticians will not be like, oh, why is he posting a pair of socks? So like when Meghan Markle did that interview on Oprah Winfrey, I could talk about Oprah Winfrey's glasses because Oprah was trending and she always wears rounded, clear framed glasses is her style. But I could also talk about Meghan's baby because the baby's eyes will have formed by now inside her. So you can say, oh, you know, just to think Meghan's baby will be able to see now because it's over 7 weeks old. And you're just trying to find any excuse to look at what's trending, looking at Google Trends, or obviously looking at Twitter and what's trending, and thinking, right, eyeballs, eyes health, how can I link it to that? Susanna Reid is a dead easy one because since Susanna Reid's wearing some glasses on GMB, whatever it is, then anything about Susanna Reid gets loads of views. But you just got to be careful you don't do it too much, I suppose. So that's kind of where the business is at. Bellyflop. The latest stage is, again, it's diversifying. We've gone on to do video testimonials as the next stage, and it's kind of going back to that rough ready relevance. So we offer this kind of this technology that makes video
Hi,
testimonials.
I'm Mark. Welcome to Bellyflop. We've been creating video content for over 30 years.
So that's Mark, my other half.
Video testimonials have grown in popularity because they help our clients convert more leads into buyers than anything else. Nothing is more powerful than seeing real people tell their stories, sharing how a product or service had a positive impact on their lives. Problem is, video testimonials are hard to produce. You have to hire an expensive crew or spend long hours doing it yourself.
Video testimonials full stop online are just so valuable. Google reviews gets people higher up the ranks on Google Maps and things. Getting customers to do a video testimonial is just the ultimate in, you know, credibility, I think.
Could automatically turn raw recordings into professional videos with your company branding. What if it was actually super easy to obtain video testimonials and case studies? And what if you could create your own branded social media content quickly and easily? What if it was simple to share and embed your videos anywhere so you get better conversion across all of your marketing channels? And what if you could actually create much more than customer videos? Our mission at Bellyflop is to make video affordable, achievable, and accessible for all businesses, regardless of how big or small their marketing budget is. It turns out that other people wanted that too, from small businesses doing their very first video marketing campaign to big ones that needed to do it much more efficiently. We take all of the pain out of recording, editing, and sharing testimonial videos, producing great quality video that feels very authentic. Start your free trial now and collect unlimited responses on us.
There we go. All right, am I back in the room?
You are.
Right. So yeah, so that's where we're at. And obviously it's been a strange year. I feel sick of saying that, aren't they? Strange year. It's now getting into year 2. But it's made a big difference. I mean, doing this right now, people are just accepting video so much more, and it's not a beginning, middle, and end. It's a bit like playing Fortnite or being on Facebook, scrolling, trying to get to the bottom of the page. There's no beginning, middle, and end to video. It's just, so it's not like in the 1990s where someone would say, oh, we're going to have a corporate video made, and you do like a 12-minute corporate film for a company, and then that's it, and then they'd show it maybe at trade shows and stuff. It's not like that now. It's just, I go to an optician and film something. We're making short films out of it. We're taking photographs. I'm making videos from the photographs. I'm making videos of the Google Street View, using the Street View photographs individually on Facebook because 360-degree photos work on there. It's just, there is no like single product. So I think certainly if you're making online video as a company, then it's kind of the customers you need have to be almost like on a retainer where they're paying a monthly fee, and you're just kind of creating content for them. And the best way of doing that is social media, I think. And that's kind of where we are now. And as I've been really doing more tally stuff, and Mark's looked after the business, and he's got more of a financial head. Sorry, that's the dog barking. He's got more of a financial head than me. I'm just creative. I'm everyone's new best friend when I'm making a film. And in the very early stages of doing the online video, I'd turn up and make the film, and then the same person I'd often filmed, I was then having to ask them why they'd not paid me yet. And that got really difficult, because you're kind of like having to be two different people, like a chameleon. So we worked out, as far as the video company was concerned, I turn up and do a film, and if there's any issue, I just text. I would just text the office and say, "Oh, they think I'm going to be here for 8 hours when they're only paying for 4," and then that conversation would take place, just like an agent, you know, for someone on TV or whoever. The conversation takes place between the customer and someone in the office who's saying, "You're taking the piss here. You're only meant to be there for 4 hours." And then I'm there filming, going, "Oh, tell me about your job and why you love what you do." And I'm not the one then going, "You're not paying me now because you're only paying for 4 hours." It's just a total clash of angles that you just have to avoid. So so that works well, and it's mainly David who goes out and does the filming, not me. And Mark just manages David's time and things like that. And it means I or whoever's doing the videos doesn't have to have that confrontation. So that's all of the company where I'm at. I know Danny because I took on an apprentice, and I think some of the people watching this might be interested in the idea of taking on an apprentice. And I think that the connecting an apprenticeship with online video it's a really good skill that the younger generations, as you call them, but I don't know, not Gen Z, what's the generation? Am I Gen Z? Am I millennial? Don't know what I am. I was born in 1974 anyway. Am I a millennial?
Yeah, I think you might be a millennial. I think
so. The generations like my little boy is 5, and he can make his own TikToks. He will, he'll dance. He knows how to switch. Well, if my phone's unlocked, he knows how to pick up my phone. He knows how to press record, and he knows how to make a video. And he's 5. Anyone who's like 17, 18 years old who might be in apprenticeship level, they've been living and breathing social media since they were born. And they've got the skill set, and it's a skill set that you just can't learn. You just almost like it's just instinctive. So for any companies, and who might be watching this, who are thinking of taking on an apprentice to help them with communicating, because it's not just online video, it's video, photos, social media. They're the go-to people, and if you can trust them and be open, and you need a company and a boss who is open-minded to try new things, then you can have some real success with it. Danny wanted me to talk about the different video platforms as part of this, and there's obviously YouTube because I've talked about it. Vimeo is used. We use it for business reasons because our customers can make changes to their films. They can click and give us their changes without having to write them in an email. We're making it as easy as possible for them. Facebook's great for longer videos and for videos, certainly video ads that are targeting, like ours I showed just a moment ago about video testimonials. We're targeting marketing managers of a certain kind of, keywords. And then obviously Twitter, I think, can work depending on the account. But the ultimate one for me that I absolutely love is TikTok. I think TikTok, I think it was called Musical.ly before. I think it's the ultimate social media, like network, channel, call it what you will, because they've got such clever technology. It links you up with who you want to see. In the early stages of TikTok, I really liked how it was workmen in high vis in the vans doing daft videos, and before I knew it, I'd scroll down my wall, and it was all blokes in vans or workmen, and I'm thinking, I've got a bit of an obsession with this here. Oh, that's what it looks like. And And I think it's because you've obviously liked a few of the films, the keywords. So it goes without saying, gay bears is coming up on my feed, things like that. Some business ones. But ultimately what TikTok does is it allows you to make videos with decent, proper music without any commercial issues. Well, provided you've not uploaded them yourself. It links not just to the right people and the right keywords, but your audience in your literally your environment, you know, where you live. And most people who use TikTok accept that it's absolutely fine to dance on a Monday morning in your pajamas in the kitchen, even if it's a business film. I wanted to find a TikTok channel which I felt would make sense, as in it was a business channel, but it shows it can work. And what I was going to show you was the pool guy. And as it sounds, well, the pool guy cleans pools. So here he is. I think he's in Berkshire or Buckinghamshire. And he just makes films about cleaning pools. I don't know what this one is. We'll watch it. It's got 6.9 million views, so let's find out why.
Alright, so I've come to check out this hot tub, which is in bad shape. It was here when you only moved in, so not sure how long it's been left for. But like the previous one I've done, there's slugs, spiders, water is horrible. I'm just going to take the covers out of the way and have a look. You're not going to want to take a dip in this, so I'm going to get the submersible pump out, drop that in and drop the water level. Pressure wash the outside and the inside as it's draining. A few little toys found at the bottom. And a few tough stains, so I've got the drill out with a pad on just to get them stains off. Fill it back up, cup of tea from the customer, get some hot tub flush, put the jets on, chuck it in, let that whirl round, clean out all the pipes inside. Give it another scrub down. Move out all the last bits. Put the hose back in to fill it up, and that's the job done. Follow your boy for the ball work. Alright, so I've come.
So that's had 6.9 million views of a man cleaning a hot tub, which is a bit crazy. And I don't know, without knowing the pool guy, it's quite likely he's just going out, films random stuff on his iPhone, and then just sends it to someone who edits it. He probably does edit it himself, but there's a lot of businesses out there that do a lot of tradesmen or all sorts, all kinds of businesses where you can just make something, and that's not even using music or anything. It's just, I don't know what impact that's had on his business, but certainly for his credibility, to have that many, that many views. Where is he at? He's at 4.5 million followers. It just goes back to the thing. It's about niches. That's what can work really well.
Yeah.
I think. So, I was going to give you some takeaways, because that's what Danny said. Think of what are our takeaways, and I think there's 3 takeaways of hopefully what. I mean, I don't class myself as an expert in making video, because I just think it's a bit naff to say I'm an expert, but I've done it for 30 years. You don't stop learning, even on Homes Under the Hammer, the most formatted show you can imagine, and I'm still learning little devices and techniques. One of them is doing this when I'm filming and I'm talking to the edit. We do that in front of the camera lens, which basically the editor then knows I'm telling him something that's important. Otherwise, he'll just fast forward through all the footage. So the moment he sees my hands like that, he knows, all right, I need to listen. And another thing is, I literally take the camera and walk around the house, badly filmed, just so that the editor gets a perspective of where the rooms all are, because it's all shot very, on tripod and stuff. So that's like things I've just learned past few months. So you don't stop learning. But hopefully the takeaways I can give you is the 3 of them, which is niches, and don't be scared of it being a niche. And a niche can be, down to a guy who cleans hot tubs. Parallels, as in finding the parallels in what you do and the people you're trying to connect with, finding the parallels. And sometimes that can be that you're gay, or you've got kids, or you're into certain music, or whatever it is. And then the other thing as a takeaway is time, and considering, going back to the rough ready relevance, and how long you can spend online video in online video making it, is being realistic about the time it takes, because you might actually just be wasting your time. And if you're doing, say, a video testimonial, and you've got your customer to do that, and you've taken ages to film it, and you've done a bad job, not only has it taken your time up and a customer's time, it could also result in, when you don't put it online because you messed up or it's not a very good video, the customer might get offended by that and go, hang on, why have you not used the film? So they're the things: niche, time spent, and parallels. Those are my takeaways. There we go.
Excellent. Has anybody got any questions? I know kind of Daisy and Delilah are working on some video projects at the moment for Coolmark, aren't you both? Do you have any insight, any questions for Jonathan whilst he's here? Because I think it could be really useful for you guys especially, but for anybody else, I know some of the other guys are doing some stuff as well. Maisie, you look like you're about to... I think you might be on mute, however. Okay, so kind of we've got a quick question from M. She says, hi there, I am an apprentice and one of my latest projects was filming. We have been trying to branch into video advertisement at my work. I have recently, however, I'm struggling for views. I have tried keywords, thumbnails, hashtags, sharing on socials, and transcripts in the descriptions. Do you have any words of wisdom to maybe gain more success? So she's basically getting content online, but not struggling to get it kind of going and people viewing it and it getting out there. Really,
you could ask people who have watched the videos or commented on them, what do you think? Literally let them know that you're not going to be defensive about it, but what do they want to see? Because if they're watching the videos already, then simply asking them, ideally a video, I mean, it depends on who it's for and stuff, but doing a video of yourself saying, hi, it's me, I really want to get more of you watching my films, so what can we do for you? What do you want to see?
Yeah,
that can surprise you. When we do a film for a customer, there's a really important question near the end of this form that we send out, and it is, what videos do you like and do you not like? And that can be a real eye-opener as far as assuming someone likes a certain film, and then they actually send you something that you think is really good. And we've had that. We're just doing something for Burnley Council, and there's an example that was sent to us, and we're like, oh, that's really good, but they don't rate it.
Cool. Oh, we're getting all the questions coming through now, Jonathan. So I think what we're kind of saying is, from what you started off with, Jonathan, kind of your biggest success was when you threw it back at the audience and you filmed the audience and they sing themselves. People want to see themselves, don't they? It seems, and kind of then they're going to share it, and people want to see them.
Yeah, if you film it in a good light, if they're in a good place, then yeah, and they're side by side with someone, and it's not just them. Crowds are great. I mean, the Gay Village was a perfect place to go out with, and do films, because everyone was up for it. I mean, I know it's a different time and place at the moment, but crowds of people. I mean, events and things like that. Yeah, there's loads of stuff I've done where I've literally gone up to the queue of people going in to see One Direction and getting them all to do something. We did a beanie hats film, a Bluetooth beanie, and we just went into Manchester and we just gave it people and got them to try it on and talk about it. And because we filmed a number of people, they all end up sharing that video. And what they're actually doing is they're marketing the product. They're showing it to their mates and stuff. And obviously we used the ones where they didn't say it was crap. No one said it was crap, but they're actually marketing it for you.
Yeah. So it's kind of putting it on the audience. So from Maisie, I know kind of Maisie wanted to speak on this, but anyway, we're here. So basically, choosing the right music. How would you decide for the type of video, stroke audience? What music you're using?
I'm probably, if I had the time to focus more on doing my social media stuff, I'd encourage all my customers to use TikTok, because they've got the music, the commercial music thing sorted, and it's on trend. When we did like the Lily Allen as an example, we know it's not going to get any ad revenue, because it's a commercial song, and you also risk, if that was, say, I don't know, say it was an optician's typical example, and we use a commercial song, they'll probably allow the song to stay there, but they'll get ad revenue, and they'll put adverts over the video, and you can guarantee if it was an optician's film, it will be Specsavers adverts over the top of this independent optician's film, which is like the worst case scenario. So it's always a bugbear. I use story blocks for music just because it's kind of inoffensive and fine. That seems to be our go-to thing at the moment, story blocks. I think we've got an account. We don't pay much. Mark and I, how much? It might be about £80 a year or something. But story blocks is good for quite decent music. And I'll find a piece of music, and I always think it's like driving a car where you have a film and it's 2 minutes long. The music needs to change about 2 or 3 times to change the mood. So it might start energetic, and then it might be a bit reflective, and then it kind of feels like it's coming to an end because the music track. So I'd find an artist I liked on story blocks, and then I'd look at their other tracks that they've done so that all the music sounds quite similar. But I have done something as an example, and it depends on who you're doing it for. I did a film for mental health, a women's mental health film, and I found a music artist that was quite vocal about her mental health. She was Canadian actually, but I emailed her and I just said to her, would it be okay to use 2 of your songs in this charity film that I was doing? And it meant, firstly, we actually had some nice music. It gave credibility to the project because we were using someone who'd also been in that situation, but it also meant she would then share it to her X thousand followers to say, oh, listen, they've used my music in a film. And that's a win-win. She's benefiting from the exposure. The project's benefiting from her sharing the music. So depending on the project, that's one way I go.
Cool.
The risk is always, if you end up, it's a commercial track, and I've done a music video, I've done some awful videos, but I did a music video for my YouTube channel, and the guy said it wasn't going to be a registered track. It wasn't going to be commercially registered, or however they do it with YouTube, and he did. And it meant that I had to put all the effort in making this video for this guy who drank a litre of vodka when I was filming him, so it was quite a handful anyway. And then I didn't get any ad revenue from it. So yeah, the commercial side of it, the copyright side of it's obviously a big deal.
Yeah, no, definitely. And even things you find online sometimes that you think are basically copyright free, they end up getting kind of the ad revenue. They want to get their music out there, don't they? I guess so. It's just being kind of careful. I guess if you guys are musicians, or if you know any musicians, you know, there's that too. You know, some simple, strumming. Cool. So kind of moving on to editing software. I'm like from uni, but I guess kind of more than editing software, the kind of kit that kind of people are using and stuff like that. Kind of, I'm like, if it's a small business, kind of maybe they got some kit around. Kind of most people have a camera, but start off with editing software, I guess.
So we've got Avids in the office. Literally in the garden. So basically we moved when the pandemic started. I didn't know what was going to happen, so we ended up buying a shipping container, and that's in the garden now. We've got 2 Avids in there. Avids are really expensive. That's about £7,000 for an Avid editing system, and and I got those because that's what they use in telly. But these days we just use Premiere, Creative Cloud, £40 a month. It's amazing. Constantly updates everything from fonts to effects and things. Tutorials online are really good for it. So yeah, Premiere. There's a couple of things that we use as far as animations. There's something that we use that I don't see hardly anyone ever use, and it's quite cheap, and it's called Videos. It's VIDDYOZE. They're in Blackpool, but they actually market themselves to America, so it can be a bit confusing when you go to the website because everything's in dollars. But there's a time and a place for their animations, and they don't necessarily get a lot of engagement online, but the customers like them because they look quite snazzy. And I'll have someone who'll send me a photograph, and in 5 minutes I can make it into a Facebook, an Instagram reel, and they're like, "Wow, that's amazing." But that's kind of just blowing smoke up their arse, really, for want of a better phrase. But it is, because they're just like, "Oh, look at that! I've took a photo and he's made it into a video, and it looks great." But, you know, it's not. That's not what will get them views. Usually, it will be something random like cauliflower cheese, as an example, where I once posted cauliflower should only be eaten when it's smothered in delicious cheese sauce, and it was just bonkers. I had more people sharing that than anything I've ever done. I didn't even take the photograph, I just lifted it off the internet. So, but yeah, videos is a good one. And there is some, you know, the doodly ones, can't remember what they're called, the animations ones. The only thing that we have used that is that our customers do not like is speech hello, which basically sounds quite clever. You just give it some scripts, and then it gets an artificial intelligent voice to recreate it. And none of our customers like that. Every time we've used it, they've always said, "Can we get a real person?" And that's what we'll do. We'll find a voiceover artist and pay him £100 to do it.
Yeah, cool. From Carol, I think this is coming down the kind of same theme as the animation, but she's currently making animated videos with kind of Biteable to introduce different parts of our EPOS software. She works for a software company. What makes kind of the till work in a shop such as Barcoding, the kind of software engineering company, kind of different charities? I've been mixing animated characters with real life people. Is this a good combination, or is it better just to stick to one? So mix it up a bit.
Ask people. Just ask people that are watching them. Ultimately, look at the views. I know I've not used it yet, but Adobe has got some really clever, where basically you can create using your face an animated character. But yeah, simple normally works better. Don't be scared of doing something really simple. And especially with animations, you can, I know it depends on what you're using. The click and drag things like Toonly is one of them. People can end up putting too many like things in the background and stuff, and it can look really, really busy. And I think sometimes just keep it simple. So yeah, ask the audience. Look at your stats as what people are watching. Ask people. It might be you're literally friends, but don't be scared of, I don't know, sharing it on LinkedIn. We just posted something today. Mark's asked some feedback on a video. You know, just ask. Never assume.
Cool. I'm from Maisie again. It's just about inspiration and ideas, I think. Kind of where does that come from? Like, I mean, I'm not, obviously you two are kind of in the office, so you got each other to bounce off, I guess, kind of for one. But kind of, how would you find your inspiration and ideas, Jonathan? Where do all these crazy ideas come from that you've kind of put out there for years?
I don't know. Just about, well, I suppose my personality. I'm not scared of trying something, and I don't care what. Right, it's not. Basically, when I was 14 years old, and I was always filming with the school video camera, I was filming Bastille Day, July 1989, and someone was shouting my name out and saying, "Jonathan, you bastard," or something. And I got obsessed with who was shouting it out my name and calling me a name. And then something clicked in my head. And I was like, and I remember sitting in the edit suite that day, and I just filmed it, and it was VHS to VHS tape. And someone just clicked in my head, and it was like, I don't actually care. And it's not, I don't care what people think. I don't want to upset people, but I don't worry about what people think so much. And then when you can do that and open your mind, don't worry about, you know, like filming the bears, and like, just don't yeah. I mean, like I say, I'm invincible when I've got a camera in my hand. I feel like I can do anything. And I turn into a different person, but then I can be quite nervous and quite hesitant when I've in some situations. So yeah, don't worry what people think. If you're not upsetting them, you're not offending them, go with what you think will work, and do it. And I'm saying that, and I should do it more myself as well. Because I have ideas all the time for TV shows. And I know what I need to do. I need to just go out and film it and put it on YouTube. And if it's that good, then people start sharing it, and that could result in a series. There's absolutely no point in me writing the idea to some TV executive who will bastardize it and make it their own, and you'll never hear again from them. So, yeah, don't be scared of trying it.
Yeah, I think it's just about getting it out there. Kind of don't think about it for too long. You're going to talk yourself out of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Kind of like, anyway, just get out there and basically kind of create it. I think that was a really good example, and I think you kind of was speaking about Colmark yesterday, weren't we? And I think Jonathan kind of almost got the idea of the hot tubs kind of to almost send you guys a bit of a message about, you know, TikTok and the different platforms that you can use to actually show kind of like, you must have engineers going out all the time, you know, installing, you know, this big and kind of like servicing, and you must see all sorts. So why not just kind of get it out there?
Once people see figures, they see 100 people have watched that, then they get into it, because they're seeing results. It's hard to see results if you've not done it before. But yeah, it feels quite rewarding. And like I say, for me, filming people singing to a Lady Gaga song was far more rewarding than, you know, working with two of the biggest people in television, Ant and Dec. But that's because the audience I was talking to were just more responsive, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. And kind of one from Tegan as well. She works for a marketing consultancy. Kind of what kind of stuff could they do on TikTok? Jonathan, no, go on.
So marketing. Well, if they're a team of people, I mean, for sake, get up and dance in the office to sort the current trend. I think with TikTok, it's a case, I think, just watching it. And I do my own. I think my TikTok name is Johnny Robbie. I changed it. Johnny Robbie, JONNY ROBBY. I don't do a great deal of them. Mark, my other half, used to be a drag queen. If my life couldn't be any more colourful. It was before I met him. But he's actually, you know, he's gone to quite big efforts. He doesn't drag up anymore, but he's gone to some quite big efforts to do some videos, and they're just a waste of time because people don't share them. But if you do the dance that everyone else is doing, then people share it. So as far as a marketing company, I think it's just watching what other people are doing first. Look at your competitors to see how they're using it. Yeah. Understanding who you want to watch the films, because ultimately that's another question we always ask on the videos that we do for our customers. We always say who's watching, and they don't. And sometimes they're like, "Oh, I don't know actually." It's like, well, new customers. Well, who are the new customers? Our customers are marketing managers who are female, usually mid-30s, who want a company that they can just leave to get on with it and trust, and they're not particularly obsessively hands-on. So when we meet someone, we kind of know if they're going to be the right customer. And there's no harm in saying to them, we think you're a really good customer for us because of other customers. There's no harm in saying that, I don't think. But if you're an organisation or a marketing company, there'll be other people doing it. Just see what they're doing and steal their ideas, because that's what TikTok's about.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking that inspiration, putting your own angle on it. Absolutely. I'm kind of thinking, who are your customers? Are you kind of a specialist marketing consultancy? Do you work with a certain kind of type of customer, a certain industry, would you say? I can see you typing away now. I hear it. Oh, that was fast. Small, medium businesses, but a range of industries. Okay, yeah. So it's just getting to know who your customers are. I'm like, who's your audience? Basically, turn it on them. Kind of get them to do the work for you. And that's going to work, isn't it? I think that's what basically Jonathan's kind of saying. You know,
if you can persuade one customer, a customer that is quite engaging and pleasant to look at, because ultimately, if they're not particularly, and when I say someone who's pleasant to look at, I don't mean someone who looks, healthy and fit or whatever else. I mean, just someone who looks likable on screen. So if you've got a customer, those people that are there that just rather than spread yourself thin and try and offer it to everyone, just do it really well with one client, and and then use that as the template to show other people, which is what we did with the video. We did Framed Opticians in Manchester. We did it for free. We did the film for free because when I first started my business, I needed to do a few films to get our name out there. So we'd pick businesses that were all about appearance and style, or colourful, or like florists and stuff. And I picked an opticians because when I met them, and then the people were quite, they're quite nice to talk to, and looks like you could trust them, I suppose. So yeah, so you could just try and persuade them. You might have to do it as a freebie, but just say to them for TikTok, just give it a go. Let's try and do this. But you can't just do one video. You need a plan. You can schedule videos on TikTok, which I didn't realize until I looked at the I don't know. I own them, just do them on my phone. We don't do them for business, but I'd love to, but just time. Yeah, there's a lot going for it, really, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. So like content plan's important, kind of. Then you can't just do ad hoc, or kind of, would you say a mixture, Jonathan?
Yeah, well, when I'm doing my social media, I mean, obviously I'm scheduling stuff, but I'm also reacting to stuff as it happens. It can be quite time consuming. But for us, as opticians, as an example, it's about eye health. So it'll be about conjunctivitis or presbyopia or whatever condition, and I'll go to videos and I'll use I'll get an animation which they just like, and it gets people into the story for like conjunctivitis, and you can think, how on earth can you make so? But I'll show you what I did because it makes sense to see it. We'll go to that. So I'll just use this. So random, I appreciate, but I'll use that because they'll look at it and go, oh, and then the wording of the post and social media will be, okay, today's lesson is conjunctivitis, but what is it? And there will be a brief explanation of conjunctivitis, and then it'll be a link to Specs Network's website, which will have the conjunctivitis downloadable leaflet. So, and I know I'm writing that post for independent opticians to share and like and utilize, which in turn they feel like they're getting something from Seiko, where they buy their lenses off. So it's quite a complex relationship and what we're actually trying to achieve. It's not just but then we'll also do fun stuff such as Guess Who works really well on those. I'll find a photograph of an actor from when they were a kid wearing glasses, and I'll say, can you guess who this is? They do phenomenally well on Facebook. They're the most popular posts on Facebook. Even though someone will answer really, really quickly, or someone might even just do a Google search of the image, but they just get a lot of reaction, a lot of shares, just much more engagement. I don't know if I've answered the question there. I feel like I've gone off on one. So
yeah, I think so. I'm sure kind of a lot of these guys, and I've seen like in the comments, a lot of them want to start kind of following you now on kind of like social media channels. So kind of what we'll do, I'll send you around kind of some of the links if you do want to follow, and basically Bellyflop and Jonathan, and see what kind of they're up to for kind of you guys' inspiration. Yeah, kind of these guys are I'm like the market managers of the future, so kind of good, kind of both ways. So
it is it's an exciting time. Businesses, older fashioned businesses, are open more to the fact that you don't have to sit in the office in a desk. If you're making content, you need to be out there making content. People aren't so paranoid now about people working from home. The technology is amazing. It won't make loads of millionaires, but it will give people a relatively good quality of living, because it's almost like all these different things have all happened. We're in the fourth revolution of technology and energy, renewable energy, and how we communicate online. That makes a big impact. Yeah, it's exciting. It's a really exciting time.
Yeah, any more questions before we end there? We've gone just over an hour, which is pretty good. That's as much as we planned, I think. Any more final questions for Jonathan before we take a wrap? Well, thanks very much, Jonathan, for coming today. I'm sure learners and employees that are online today have found it really invaluable. So yeah, no, thanks again, and thanks to everyone for coming. You should all be getting sent out a survey basically from today's session, so we'll share that information. We'll share information about how to keep in touch with Jonathan, his social media sites. You can follow the adventures of Bellyflop and Jonathan. But yeah, thanks everybody. We can just stay back if you want. Jonathan and have a quick chat. But yeah, no, thanks everybody for attending today.
All right.
Yeah, to show your appreciation, everyone's saying thank you. Many thanks, thank you. Where can we find you on social? That was really good. Yeah. Very much.
All right, take care, everyone.
Okay.
That was the first.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, I tried to point out the cool Mark girls. I seen them both giggling to each other. Yep. They was the only ones on video. But yeah, no, they was yeah.
They'll get it, yeah.
Really good turnout there, in the end. I didn't think we had that many people, but just seeing everyone go out now, I'm like, oh my gosh, we had probably about 20 people there in the end of it.
Gosh.
So that was a good turnout. Pretty much as many people that registered, I think. So yeah.
As long as it didn't, it made